In the first class, we already know about the usage of simple present tense and the structure of simple present tense. And I already gave you a table of simple present tense. If you by heart the table of simple present tense, it is very easy to change the positive sentence to negative sentence and negative sentence to interrogative sentence and interrogative sentence to negative interrogative sentences. So you must by heart the table. If you not by heart the table, it is made difficult to change the positive sentences to negative, negative to interrogative and negative interrogative to positive. So you must by heart the table. In the simple present tense, so there are four types of sentences in simple present tense. What are they? The first one positive sentences, and second one negative sentences, and third one interrogative sentences, and fourth one negative interrogative sentences. So let us know about the positive sentences. So when we observe the example number 1, I go to school or I do go to school. So both sentences are in positive sentences. So when we observe the example number 1, I go to school or I do go to school. So both sentences are positive sentences. So why I should take do after subject I? So when we observe the table of simple present tense, let us know about the positive sentences. When we observe the example number 1, I go to school or I do go to school. So both are positive sentences. Then why should I take do after the subject I? So when we observe the table of simple present tense, the I is the first person singular. So when we observe the subject is in first person singular, we should take do after subject I. So when we observe the he in the subject, then what should we have to do take? We must take does after the subject he or she or it. Now example number 2. So negative sentences. So when we observe the example number 2, I don't go to school, it means negative sentences. Why should I take don't after I? Because when we observe the subject in the example number 2 I, so I is first person singular. So when it is in first person singular, we should take do after I. So I don't go to school. So when we observe the he or she or it in the sentences as a subject, we should take does. For example, in the example number 2, so I don't go to school. So the I is the first person singular, so we should take do. When we observe the he or she or it in the sentences, we should take doesn't. She doesn't or he doesn't go to school, because he or she or it, they are third person singulars. Okay, and third one, so when we observe the example number 3, do I go to school, it is interrogative sentences. Interrogative sentences. Why should I take do before I? Because I is the first person singular. When we observe the first person singular in the sentences, we should take do before subject I. Okay, so when we observe the third person singulars like he or she or it, so what should I take before the subject does? Because when we observe the third person singulars in the sentences, it means interrogative sentences, we must take does before the subject. And when we observe the example number 4, it is negative interrogative sentences. So negative interrogative sentences. Don't I go to school? So I, when we observe the I, it is a first person singular. That's why I should take don't before the subject I, because it's a first person singular. It is not a first person singular. So when we observe the third person singular, instead of I, we should take does before the subject he or she or it. If my video is really useful to you, just like and subscribe the channel, and we have to continue our online regular classes. So guys, if you have any doubts, just give a comment in the comment box. I will explain you. So next class we have to know about the present continuous tense. If the video is really useful to you, just like and subscribe the channel and you will get regular updates and online classes. Thank you.